Hey there, welcome to DollMotion, the channel where we use old unwanted dolls and turn them into new characters, which we use for a stop-motion animated series. In this video we're going to make Betty Aves, pigeon mother to Hendry and Olivia Aves. There are many species of pigeons in the world. You have rare ones like the Socorro, exotic ones, and king-size ones. But for this pigeon custom, we're going for a more common city pigeon. My second favorite bird, after a chicken. Well, let's begin and make Betty Aves. If your answer to my riddle in my previous RePaint video was a pigeon, then you were correct. This video will have an ordinary hint, so good luck finding it. For this custom I'm going to use a Frankie Stein hat, with this Obitsu female body. This one even has magnets on her feet, so you can balance her on a stand. And now that we are working on an Aves, let's also give Hendry a big update. The last of the original seasonal custom to get a new, more articulated body. Because I can't remove his wings, changing him into a new outfit was almost impossible. So he was always stuck in this glued-on sweater. But today we're going to cut off the sweater and pop off his hat and give him an upgrade. Well, we're going to make birds, so the extra hands that are included can go into the spare hand box. With pure acetone, I take off the factory painted face. And birds don't really have visible ears, so these can also be taken off. They can go to my creepy ear collection. Birds have digigrade legs, so that means they will get the bent legs. Yes, even Hendry. His original body had straight legs, but Hendry is 24. So he should have had the bent legs by now. We're going to fix that with this upgrade. City pigeons have a light grey color with red legs. To get this color for the doll body, we're going to use red dye more. Fill pan with water, red dye more, and the parts of the doll you want to dye. I removed a part of the arm so we can attach the wing later. And yeah, you probably noticed the body got more brown than grey. A similar issue I got with Hank's body. Funny enough, by using the same dye color. Oh well, we can fix that later. But we got another issue. The heat of the water made the joints of the body all flimsy and loose. To fix this, we first need to take the body apart. We are going to make the joints stiffer by using fray stopper. But you can also use a nail polish hardener. We are just gonna put a few layers on the ball joints and on the arm and leg joints. Let it dry for a while. Meanwhile, I cut off Henry's old wings and tail from his previous body. His new Obitsu body will have a removable arm joints, so I can finally dress him. But first I need to reattach his and Betty's legs. For this I'll be using sticks and a 2-part epoxy glue. Wait for it to dry, and now we can fill in the remaining gaps with Epoxy Sculpt. Great! And when the Epoxy Sculpt is dry, we can sand it down for a better transition. Time to give the bodies the right bird color. Although grey is an easy color to use, the color white can be tricky. After making a few dolls with a snow white body tone, I learned it's best to spray the body with a white primer first. It will take many more layers to make a doll body an even white color than with any other color. So take your time and use thin layers. And let every layer fully dry before spraying a new one. This prevents any dripping. Betty has a gradient from grey to red on her legs. Yeah, this also works. City pigeons have an almost metallic green shine on their neck. I think I can mimic this with some micro glitter. And also some rouge on our chest. Great, everyone is the right color. Now they only need some holes for their tails and stop motion rig. Alex's bolt came loose when I animated the telekinesis choking scene. So I'm going to use Epoxy Sculpt to hold the bolt this time, instead of only using glue. Now we can seal in the bodies with matte varnish and reconstruct them. Wings need feathers, but they first need to be the right color. So back to the kitchen for some more dyeing. They only need to be a light grey. But I don't really trust the dye I used earlier, so I'm going to use a dark grey tone. But I'm only going to soak the feathers short into the dye. Yeah, they really look like a mess at this point. But you can make them all fluffy again by putting them in a dryer. Okay, ready. Let's... Yeah, it came out way too dark. So I did the whole process again and made another light grey batch. Now that the feathers are the right color, we can trim them for doll size. This part is the reason why I only like to make 2 bird dolls a year. Although I use a mask and be as safe as possible, I will be sneezing and coughing the rest of the week. I'm not allergic or something, it's just small pieces of feathers will be everywhere. Well, everything for a good costume, right? I made 3 batches of miniature feathers. Dark grey, light grey and white for Hendry. But first we need to make an armature for the wings. We're going to use the leftover joint to attach a wing. Bend it into a wing and secure it to the arm with a 2-part epoxy glue. Sew a stretchy fabric close to the color of the feathers around the wing. Lay out your feathers and armature and spread a line of fabric glue on the underside of the wing. We're going to begin with the dark grey feathers to mimic a pigeon wing. Start at the tip with long feathers, going to the end with small feathers. Repeat this process with the light colored feathers, with many more rows to the top. Finishing the wing by gluing on feather fluff. Let the wing fully dry to get movable wings. This technique also works for the tail. Let's finally begin on Betty's head, because it's still a Frankie Stein at this point. I like to keep the grey hair, but with a different hairstyle. To make a new part, she'll be needing a small reroot. This will also give me the chance to hide the human ear marks. Secure the hairs from the inside with contact glue. And tame the hair flat with a boil wash. A small trim, and now we can do something different. I want Betty to be a character who is fascinated by 50s fashion. She'll be getting a suburban fit-to-fair look, with a Grace Kelly-inspired hairstyle. I wasn't sure if I was able to pull this off, so most of it is off camera, sorry for that. But I'm going to make more of these hairstyles in the future. I'm going to leave in the hairpins, so it won't ruin the hairstyle. Lucky it's not in a way for me to sculpt a pigeon beak. Older Divus characters always have their upper lip fully animal and underlip still human. Not forgetting those weird blob things pigeons have on their beak. When the epoxy sculpt is dry, I very carefully paint the face of the doll a dark grey. Back to Hendry. Let's attach his head to his new body. Well, usually this goes very easy with a male Monster High head, but Hendry's head is not a Monster High or even an Ever After High male head, but an Ever After High female apple white head. And they really don't fit on an Obitsu body. I tried widening the neck opening with a hot glue gun, which broke off the jaw. I even trimmed the neck opening, but still it won't fit. So this means I had to sand down the neck of the body. Yes, finally! Whoa, Hendry really was giving me a lot of trouble. Maybe it's payback because he originally was going to die in the first draft of the Divus series? You're not going to be killed off anymore, so you don't have to be so stubborn. I touched up the whites on his neck, but we need to fix those cracks on his face and give him a new jaw. First, a layer of super glue to keep everything in place, some sanding to make everything even, and now the face is ready for a new jaw. Like I said, Hendry is 24. And I kind of thought his old jaw was kind of young looking, so I made him a wider jaw. That makes him less boyish. A few layers of white paint and his face is restored. Switching back to Betty. Let's begin the face up. I start sketching in the face with a watercolor pencil. I was actually inspired by one of my older face-ups to use for Betty. It's a very detailed face-up, but very suiting for this character. The over-concerned mother, with a black and white movie actress face. When I make a custom, I like to use no more than 4 leading colors to design a character. Betty having the colors grey, green, red and a bit of yellow. Hendry clearly has his mother's eyes. Now that I'm shading the eyes with pen pastels, let's answer the question of the day. Question by Eliza Williams. Where do you get the inspiration from for the personality of your characters? It's mostly story-based, as in a certain character type is needed to push the story. And no, the characters are not directly inspired by people I know. As in, Alex is only physically based on someone I know. Thank you for your question. And if you have a question of the day, please leave it in the comments section, so I can use it for a future RePaint video. Back to the face-up. Some finishing touches on her lips and she's done. To seal in the face-up, I spray the doll's face, pure layers with Mr. Super Clear. Let's see what her hair looks like. Ah no, the hairpins gave her rust. Well, maybe it's not that noticeable when it's in the right model. Looking great, but it needs some more taming. Lucky I have my gel glue, or Screaming Man hair gel, to sculpt the hair in place. This will make her hair hard, but it kinda makes it easier for me to animate. You know what? Let's give Hendry a new hairstyle. I still have these cut off feather pieces when I was making miniature feathers. They can pass as a great bird hairdo. I'm just going to glue them over the pre-glued feathers. Yeah, this looks great. Maybe I'm going to use this technique when I'm making Hendry's and Olivia's father. I first wanted to reuse Hendry's old tail, but I thought an upgrade would be better. I used some super glue to hold the tails in place. Okay, outfit time. Hendry has a new body, so he can finally wear new clothes. Well, he can keep his old beanie and shoes. These jeans are actually from an old childhood Barbie of mine. I would have loved to show her to you, but I kinda used her sculpt to make a stop-motion puppet about 10 years ago. Yeah, even then I used to cut up dolls. But I did use her jacket and shoes for Felicia. And now her jeans for Hendry. Well, by giving it a snap in the back instead of Velcro. This Ken hoodie is also getting an arm trim and an opening in the back, so it can go over Hendry's ever after high hat. And now for Betty. Like I said, Betty's passion is 50s fashion. She likes to wear vintage dresses, but has a more retro look overall. As in inspired by the 50s with a modern twist. So I made her a polka dot red dress, an underskirt or a petticoat, a simple green cardigan with buttons, her shoes are these Barbie Mary Jane-like shoes. She is married, but she doesn't have any fingers to wear a ring. Well, some birds wear a ring on their leg, so this Monster High Spectra chain can work. Only a few adjustments and some more jewelry, and we can dress her. The underskirt that's low on her body because of her tail, the polka dot dress, the cardigan and wings, and of course the ring. Yes! Finally, I have a pigeon doll! I really need a chicken Divus doll in my life one day. Anywho, if you'd like to know the story of Hendry, Olivia and Betty Aves, then you should really watch the Divus series. Here you can find out on who Olivia has a crush and who kidnapped her. A link is in the description box and at the end of this video. But if you can't wait and you would like to see more RePaint videos, I have a brand new video available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. But don't worry, this video will eventually be available on YouTube. But by becoming a supporter, I will be able to make brand new RePaint videos that will be directly available for YouTube. And because of that, I would love to thank my lovely Patreon, Kane and Maru, and everyone else on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I will see you in 2 weeks with a new RePaint video. Bye!